Hello, Dr. Neeta.
Hi.
Hi. Am I audible to you?
Not really very great, but better. Not very
I'm
great.
sorry, actually, you are not audible to me.
Oh, is it? Can you
Okay,
hear me
just
now?
just allow me 1 second.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Dr. Neeta. Yes, I can hear you now.
Now I can
Um,
also hear you.
yeah, I think there was some issue with my earphones only. I'm sorry for that.
No, no,
Yeah,
no
so
worries.
Doctor, we'll just give it 2, 3 more
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, yeah. Please, please. Sure, sure. And 4:30 we need to wind up, right?
Um, yes, actually, a little prior to that, that would be
Okay.
four,
By 4:15, will that be okay?
okay. 4:10 actually. So
Okay.
basically, there is a clock time to these Zoom calls, so it's around 4:10. So
Okay,
we'll
sure.
let you know uh before the call is going to get
Done,
disconnected,
done.
so
Done,
that
done. Sure, sure,
we can
sure.
wrap it up. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No worries. So once
Yeah.
everyone has joined, I'll give a quick introduction of yours and then we can start.
Done, done.
Okay.
Thanks.
बार जब आप फ्रेश लेती लाए तो
Hello, Dr. Nita.
Yeah, we can start.
Like the team is joining, but we can start. So, like they'll keep on joining the call, and
Sure.
looking at the time constraint, we'll at least start from our end.
Exactly. Let's start.
Yes, yes. So, first of all, thank you so much, everyone, for joining the call. The topic for today's webinar is how passion and hobbies shape effective leadership. So, this topic will be taken up by an expert, that is Dr. Neeta Mahatre. She is a master of NLP practitioner. And so, basically, this webinar is going to outline that why exactly hobbies, passion, and workplace matters. So, we'll understand how hobbies impact effectiveness, and we'll link it to passion, to emotional regulation and resilience, explore burnout prevention strategies, build an actionable personal renewal plan. And yes, so these all topics will be elaborated by Dr. Neeta. So, Dr. Neeta, I will hand over the mic to you from here. And yes, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
as well
Yeah,
for
thank you.
joining the
Thank you.
call. Yeah.
Yeah. So very good afternoon, and I'm sure as excited as I am to talk about this topic because I know that while it is about passion, while it is about hobbies, and how passion and hobbies can actually contribute to your purpose, to your money, and also to the organizational goals. So it is very important to talk on this topic because this is our zeal of going back to work. This is our zeal of creating the creativity and innovation at our workplaces, and also using the passion and hobbies. How do we connect with our team? Whenever we meet our team members or whenever we meet our office colleagues, the first thing we always ask is, from where are you coming? Which place are you coming from? And then someone will tell, I'm coming from Dombivli, I'm coming from Thane, I'm coming from this. Oh wow, I come to Thane. There is this amazing vada pav wala. The entire conversation gets into passionate eating. And while this passionate eating comes, we start connecting, we start building our rapport. And while we build our rapport, this rapport starts getting in our workspace. And while it starts getting into our workspace, it starts creating that aura. That is why our passion and hobbies are very important. At least last 3 to 4 months, whenever I am being on the panel of interview, whether it is an MBA graduate where we pick up, or whether it is an HR where we are looking out for, we definitely talk about hobbies and passion in depth so that we understand how will the team develop a good resilience, how will the team as a leader, how will the team will be navigating in this journey. So I'm really very in gratitude that we brought in this topic. So definitely, as mentioned already, that how does hobbies impact effectiveness? How do we link our emotional regulation to resilience and exploring the burnout? Definitely, a lot of people, whether it is travel, whether it is their own mental chatter, whether it is surrounding, whether it is the social anxiety, everything somewhere is leading down to burnout. And with this burnout, what could be the best strategies which we can practice easily? Building an actionable personal renewable plan. So, my question to all of you is, while this is an opening reflection, I want to ask you, how many of you people know about Bill Gates? How many of you know about Bill Gates? Maybe right, wrong, please don't think about it. Just feel free to express what you know about what Bill Gates is. Or maybe for your ease, I can also mention about Steve Jobs. Anything about Bill Gates or anything about Steve Jobs? What is your own per se a small opinion about these two? Because they contribute in a very major chunk of business, technology, visionaries. Yes, very good. Thank you so much. What else? Completely fine. I agree this. What else? Come on, come on, come on. Let's have some answers. I'm sure the afternoon food was really very tasty, but this session is also going to be full of taste. Come on. 100% masterminds. What else apart from masterminds? So, if you read about Steve Jobs was the person who loved calligraphy. He loved calligraphy to the extent that whenever and however he wanted to sit and do something, he used always calligraphy. And while it was about calligraphy, with this calligraphy, he actually started this as an hobby, but he also saw this that with this calligraphy, it was doing a work of anchor. It used to anchor his thoughts, it used to anchor his positivity, and it used to anchor him to build the vision. While it was happening with Steve Jobs, the same thing happened with our Bill Gates. While Mr. Bill Gates used to think, used to love only and only love, he used to love was, you know, playing a avid bridge. He used to love playing this, and he was a very avid bridge player. If you read about him, you'll come to know that this game actually he started playing while his parents were there. And then later he started playing it with Warren Buffett. And while he was playing this with Warren Buffett, he just mentioned that while I play this bridge game, I require focus, I require attention, I require a clean mental thought, which is allowing me to think. And with this thought process, he brought this into business. And while he brought this into business, we have also been knowing the most famous, the Boeing company. The Boeing company is completely famous, William Boeing. William Boeing was a person who was so much interested in aviation, so much interested in seeing the pilots, so much interested that he used to dress up, he used to play. At times, he has become a plane, and he felt that, oh my God, my condition is so bad. But why? If my condition is bad, why am I taking this? How about me creating something and I becoming the specialist of this? So, there have been people who have been passionate about whatever they are, and they lived that passion and followed that passion in their workplace. So I want you to think about this. When was the last time when you actually became passionate and you thought about being passionate about things, but just not for only work, but about your passion? It's not about appraisals, it's not about targets, it's not about ROI, it's just joy, it's just sheer joy. Some people, they love only talking. And while they love talking, in that talking, that would be their passion, but there are hundred of hearts getting that solace by just expressing themselves. And some people, just by listening, just by giving that ears, makes people comfortable. So I'm sure that whenever a change comes, what changes when you become dash is where I have left. It can be supervisor, it can be a leader, it can be a VP, it can be an AVP, it can be an HRBP, it can be a CHRO, anything. We all know that our responsibility increases, our visibility increases, our pressure increases, our identity shift also starts being. So yesterday, while I had to be preparing for this topic, I was going through one of the interview of Simon Sinek. And in that interview of Simon Sinek, he said very beautifully that I do not want to be identified as so and so person. Because once I leave my job or once I'm out of my job, I do not want to carry that identity. I want people to know me as an author because this is my passion. My passion is writing. I do not want to only carry the tags that later on I feel, oh my God, now I'm not going to the office. Now I do not have that workplace. Now I do not have so many people. Then what is my identity? But my identity is my passion, and my passion is to be an author, and to be an author in such a way that every bookshelf can see Simon Sinek, every mind can actually keep up those words of Simon Sinek, and everyone can fulfill their dreams of being who they are. So, this question of who am I is very, very important. I call this question as your self audit. After every 3 months, check your who am I with your passion. Am I taking my passion with me in my workplace? Am I taking my passion and my hobbies in my social space? Am I also taking my passion in my circle of influence? Very, very important, because many people are very good performers. And while they are performers, they are actually climate creators. And here, the climate creator means as soon as you enter the workplace, there are sometimes the kind of aura people bring it. And everybody tells, oh my God, I just want to be like this sir, yeah. He is such an amazing person. The way he smiles, the way he laughs, the way he waves out, people want to be that. And while they come with that aura, in that aura, there is nothing but it is their passion and their zeal. The way they dress up, the way they look at you, the way they smile. Some people are so particular about their pens. The pen will be so passionate to them कि after even signing they will tell ये क्रॉस का पेन है मेरे को वापस दे देना मेरा पेन है मेरा पेन है see, and they love that so passionately, because and anyways people don't like to give their pen to anyone. The proverb goes now, the pen should never be given, so that is all very, very personal, so people don't like sharing that. But pen and all these comes with a lot of energy. So some people who are always like a Meena Kumari, Manoj Kumar, sad, cribbing, complaining, they will always carry negative zones. Their day starts with, Acha, okay, once I will come, I will see. Their energy is so low that they will always bring attention in the teams. But inspired managers, they create environment with zeal, environment with compassion, environment with joy. It's full of joy. So while passion and hobbies matter, most of us understand that my passion can be cooking, my passion can be stitching, my passion would be walking, my passion would be strolling. All these things, they actually take care of your brain. The right and the left brain, both. All of us who are sitting here together, we know that we are sitting here with two of our brains, the right brain as well as the left brain. The one which is logical, the one which is creative. If you would actually check yourself, you would see that you're wearing a light blue shirt and a dark blue pant. You're wearing a white shirt and you're wearing a black pant. You're wearing a pink salwar kameez, but you're wearing something darker down. This is nothing but this is the creativity which with you dress up, the creativity which you bring when you walk in your space, the creativity which you bring even when you eat your tiffins, when you eat your dabba. There is this sabji which is there in one tiffin, there is this paratha which is there in one tiffin. Maybe it would be foiled, it would have an aluminium foil, it would be properly be kept with a tissue over there. This is nothing but this is the creativity. Creativity does not mean only art and craft. Creativity is also about how do I speak, how do I talk, how do I observe, how do I listen, and how do I use all my five senses. So while passion and hobbies are there, they are actually soldiers. They are our soldiers which actually prevent us from getting into burnout. But while we have to prevent ourselves from burnout, we have to use it very, very mindfully. So what happens is it prevents cognitive fatigue. Cognitive means your thought process. Just for a minute, imagine that at your workplace, you are angry on something. You would be angry on some small little thing, but it has made you irritated. Suddenly you would go out, you would just take round, or some people would go drink water, some people would go talk to people, some people might scroll on the cell phones. What are they doing? they are doing is they are shifting the brain cells, which is called as neuroplasticity. And as the neuroplasticity is getting shifted, our energy is getting shifted. Some people might also say, hey, look, I am right now not okay. Can we just talk about it little later? Can you come back to me after some time? So that is where our cognition gets into fatigue, and we tell people to take a pause. So while we take a pause, it creates emotional regulation. I know I will not lash out on anyone. I know I will hold on with my irritation and rage. I will talk to person in a better way. It helps in creativity and proper decision making and building a good leadership skills. Why leadership skills? Because while people talk about resilience, resilience is something which is a skill which is built by our own lives. How do we bounce back? How do we solve a problem? How do we look at a situation from three places? One being in the situation, one being out of the situation, one being surrounding the situation. So that is how we take the part of resilience. That is how we understand resilience. Hobbies which reduce cognitive fatigue because they make a major contribution in creating different pathways. So you will see as soon as you drink water, it is H2O, hydrogen 2, oxygen 1. Oxygen 1, as soon as it reaches the brain, and this is nothing but this is pure science. All of us would remember our parents and everyone. Whenever we used to have guests, earlier I'm not talking about now, because now whenever you have to even drink water, you have to ask, can I get a glass of water? Because now even water comes with RSVP. The things are changing like this. So initially, whenever people used to come home, every home used to first serve us water. The second used to be some kind of sweet or some biscuits or some cookies, depending on their status, but they used to give these two as a combination. And after 10 minutes, then they used to ask, would you want to have a tea, coffee? What do I get for you? Because the first thing what water does, it reaches here, it reaches the oxygen supply, reaches to the brain, and it calms you down. So however people with anger emotion have also entered, they have seen that the cortisol levels have decreased drastically. There is a clarity in decisions. The reaction shifts from response. And the people's voice, where we tell that 38% of our communication happens because of our voice. This is something wherever you can go. It's all research based, which I talk. I use a lot of research whenever I do any work. So there is this 38% when we use our voice, we see that immediately the activity of the voice, which was so loud, irritating, it soothes down. And we talk to people comfortably by telling them, hey, look, I felt like this about you. Can you just tell me about this? Why did you do this? I was hurt. So that is what hobbies bring to us while it takes care of our fatigue. What does passion does? Passion 100% takes care of our emotional regulation. While people listen to music, I do not know whether you have observed this or no. If you listen to music during your breaks, and especially the 493 hertz, 372 hertz. These are nothing but these are all those brain waves, the alpha waves, the theta waves, which is so soothing to the brain. And while you listen to this, especially after food, it's not that after food you have to sleep, but it is actually rejuvenating your body. And while it is rejuvenating your body gets into the space of patience, more calmness, and wherever there is chaos, your body is self-regulated. Okay, I will observe. I will not immediately jump to conclusions, but I will observe. Whenever we do team building, many of them I have experienced, whenever they do team building, actually it is not team building, it is team bonding in workplaces, whether it is indoor, whether it is outdoor, and while they inculcate sports. Sports is what? Sports is all the power of dose. Dose is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So sports builds that teamwork. The way we scream, the way we use our hands, the way we use our leg, the way we give a fist bump, All those things is movement. And with all these movements, our hormones are getting regulated. And while the hormones are getting regulated, it is also creating, okay, how do I now participate? If I am a weak player, how can I now become strong? So ideally, we bring in the SWOT over there. The sports is our SWOT. It brings in the SWOT analysis. Art builds observation because at workplace, observation is 110% very, very important. Reading builds perspective. Most of us have, I think, given up on reading. And if you really start reading, A, it is giving you good vocabulary. B, it is giving you a style, a different style of reading. It can be humor, it can be anger, it can be loud, it can be assertive, it can be passive aggressive. You have all different forms of reading, and it builds up with perspective. What does hobbies do? Hobbies basically are our leadership laboratories. We always tell that whenever your EI or EQ, that is your emotional quotient, in that emotional quotient, if you see the four windows, which talks about self regulation, which talks about self awareness, which talks about social bonding, and the last but not the least is about empathy. And all these four core values are important for us in our leadership laboratories. And how does this come? This comes only with our hobbies. This comes with discipline. This comes with collaboration. Because when I am aware of myself, I am regulating my emotions, my thoughts, my words, my team is aligned, my team is properly aligned. So communication and collaboration becomes easy. With communication and collaboration, consistency and discipline becomes much more easy. While this is there, wherever we go as a team, whether it is trek, whether it is sports, whether it is swim, whether it is anything, it comes with resilience. It comes with how do I bounce back? There are many people in the team now who will tell, no, 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 I can't do this. I can't do this. Like I'm talking about me. This Sunday, I met one of my school friends after a very long 35 years. And they were like, Neeta, come on, do it, do it, do it. Zindagi na milegi dobara. And I'm like, oh my God, you see this height? And I'm like looking down. Really? What if this rope breaks? And they're like, just jump. Nothing is going to happen. And after that jumping, I realized what was holding me back. The holding me back was my own thoughts, my own negative self chatter. Of course, all the safety measures are taken care of. But the thing which was holding me back was my own thoughts. So resilience is one of the very important aspect where we all learn to work. Writing, while you read, while people tell every morning, sit and write your goals. Sit and write how do you want to see your day unfolding today? How do you want your day to be spending? So while you write, it is nothing but it is clarity. It is that clarity which we are giving to ourselves. Okay, this is what I want in my life. This is how it should go. So while your title disappears, again coming to Simon Sinek, this actually I did it yesterday because I was finding it so meaningful that we run for title. But if that title disappears, who are we? Who are we? We are our passion, we are our hobbies, and we are all those things which we think for ourselves. So, having a single identity, professional burns out very, very fast. Multi identity leaders recover faster. So, we know that is why we always at workplace come together with a sustainable leadership model. While we talk about sustainable leadership model, it's about energy, it's about time management, and how early can we take care of our burnout. Whenever there is burnout, first thing, please think is there that do not glorify stress or is stress. No. Scribble your thoughts out, scribble it out. Remove all the negativity from your space. Declutter the space. Keep the space very clean, clear. Put waters, put good stickers, put your smiling face, put your achievements, talk about it. Talk about all those things which you also want to do in your space. How can you influence your team? Of course, here encourage vacations means encouraging those small talks whenever we are going for a team meet, maybe for a lunch, for a dinner, or for a chai, for anything. It's not important always to talk about work, work, and work, but it is important how can we bring the best in our team member by talking what would be passionate about. If the person is passionate about writing, how can you encourage the person to write blogs for the team, blogs on the LinkedIn? You can go on my LinkedIn, you can see that wherever I am across the world, across the world. Last week I was traveling, next full week again I'm going to travel, and I'm going to travel till the stretch of 20th. But wherever I am, 6:50 my posts are already there because people are interested there in reading. Normalizing some hobbies and creating more outlets. So, a small reflection, what would be that one hobby which would be your area where you will start practicing? One way which I would encourage all the team member to support each other, to be for each other, and talk about your passion, talk about that hobbies, talk about the work, talk about those stories, talk about those childhood memories. Because many times in that childhood, I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to be addressing that 500 people, but where my mother told, "Hey, how much you talk?" I gave up on speaking. Can I now develop? Yesterday, I was reading this article of a 92-year-old lady who has finally completed her MBA. And she told that people at 92 talk about Alzheimer's dementia. I have fought my fourth stage of cancer, but I have come out of it and I have finished my MBA. So people are living life with passion, with zeal, with hobby, and that is what we all have to remember. So this I was supposed to do as a breakout room, but seeing that the time is just 6 minutes, but definitely a thought, a question, which I want you all to answer, maybe in the chat box. What is one habit which you would really restart? Very, very important that while you restart it, think how will it contribute in my communication? How will it contribute in my collaboration? How will it contribute in my resilience? How will it also contribute in my listening? How will it contribute in my observation? And while all these things are contributing, how as a person can I do something which will also create an impact in the social space for others? Because it's not what we do. While we do, someone is looking at us, someone is observing, and someone wants to be that person to start off. So this is one of the personal commitment which I want from all of you, that what are you going to restart this week? And when will you schedule it? And who will hold you accountable? This is one of the personal commitment. You can use the chat box. We still have 5 minutes to go, right? And this is a closing reflection. We all know violin. It really plays very, very well. But if it is too loose, you'd have no music. And if it is too tight, it does not create harmony. So it is very important to have that harmony. Balance is the best word. And while this balance is the best word, what can you create for yourselves? And what can you create for all the people who are associated with you in this space of work, in this space of joy, in this space of commitment, in this space of time management, in this space of even conflicts? Right? While you are focusing on your passion, while you're focusing on your hobbies, one very important area is we can deal with conflicts very mindfully. Very, very mindfully we can deal with. So in the chat box, one little request that what are you going to start one small hobby which you feel is also going to make a remarkable improvement at workplace? Come on, hurry up. Come on, everyone. And if possible, if we can all come on the screen, if possible. So, we can have one good memory picture of us. Let's just try it out if we can.
Dr. Neeta, I'm really sorry. Actually, a lot of employees of ours work from home, so it becomes a little difficult for them to switch on their cameras, and mine is not working, unfortunately, at this moment. Otherwise, I would
It's
have
okay, it's
switched
okay, it's
on.
okay. Completely fine, completely fine. That's why I use the word it's okay if it's fine. But at least I can get it in the chat box that what is that one little thing which you will actually start off? One small little thing which you can actually start off. It can be small little thing like smile. Can I smile at my employees? Can I smile at them? Because people are not actually waiting for reasons to smile and laugh. They'll go to all the comedy clubs to laugh because people are not able to laugh naturally. So, what can be that small little thing? Come on, come on, come on. Some things in the chat box. I'm waiting. Yes, yes, come on. I see 16 people here. Okay, anyways, maybe you would take some time to think on your passion, on your hobbies, and how would they contribute. Fantastic. Thank you so much. This is a very, very good way. This is, in fact, we always tell dancing to be as an adrenaline gush because whenever there is adrenaline gush, movements are very, very good, and movements allow people to be in a responsive zone rather than the reacting zone. They're always in a responding zone. So, thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, Dr. Neeta. I think employees are a
Yes.
little shy to even mention it, but I can definitely say that the session was really, really helpful. And no one would have actually thought that hobbies might actually make them better leaders and make them better at work. So I hope people start working on it and we follow a little bit what you have explained today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And wishing
But
you
yes,
all,
thank you.
they'll say, please follow all your hobbies and your passion. And I can bet you people will really have enjoyable working. And you will see that your working style will actually change. Just fall in love with your hobbies.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you so much for explaining that so well. And thank you so much for joining the call.
Thank
Um,
you.
yes, if anything, I have your email ID. They can drop you an email if they would have any questions or queries.
Sure, sure. They can. They can do that.
Thank you for your time, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Wishing you
everyone,
happy
for
good
joining.
evening also, everyone.